Hello everyone, this is Jimmy, and welcome to episode 4 of Divine Journey 2, where I'm being rained on. There is a totemic thing that we can do to stop the rain, but I don't think I care quite that much about it. If it were thunderstorming, maybe I would do it, but then you can just sleep through thunderstorms always, can't you? So, whatever. Anyways, our steel production is ongoing, but our coke oven has since stopped because it is full of creosote, and the output tank is full. This pack uses Huela, which unfortunately doesn't actually tell you how much is in the tanks. I don't think turning advanced full tips. Oh, it's already on. Yeah, it doesn't affect that. Unfortunate. Oh well. I've come to very much enjoy the one probe recently. Alas. Anyways, we can turn that creosote, which is how much? 80 buckets, into wood, or treated wood. So I assume this recipe hasn't changed. If it has, I will look like quite the fool right here. Nope. There we go. 8 sacks of treated wood, and what I'm actually going to do is leave another chest here with some more wood in it. So we can continue to empty this out from time to time. I'll just do, a whole stack or 8 stacks, whatever, of wood planks at a time. So that's a lot of treated wood. It'll probably get turned into water wheels or something in the near future. Alright, quest complete. Gives us a diamond saw. Cool. With access to steel now, I think our next significant goal, well, we can real quick make a flint and steel. I think that lets us get into the nether. I don't know what exactly we'll want to do in the nether, but the quest also costs 1 steel and gives us 3, so I'm not going to complain about that. Give me gold for this reward. Oh, there's a second page. I don't care for any of those. Okay. So yeah, I think what I want to do now is make some power as our next goal. So that would eventually require a redstone or a whatever kinetic dynamo. That's the thing, which will power with water wheels or windmills, but I think water wheels tend to be better. So let's work our way down towards here. We have to make LV wires will be our first power transport. Can we do flux ducts by chance? Oh, the texture was weird for a second. No, we can. Oh my, what are these things? What's a G? What? Okay, I'm not gonna look at that anymore. That hurts my eyes. I guess we're gonna use LV wires. The problem with using these immersive engineering wires is that they zap you for touching them. And technically, you can cover your wire, but it's, what is that? 8 hemp times 5, so it's like 10 hemp per piece of wire. And I'm not growing that much hemp. I mean, I could just expand the farm. I think for now, I'll just deal with getting zapped. So, LV wires are... Oh, what an awful deal. It takes 2 ingots to make 1 wire, and 4 wires to make 1 wire coil. Oof, that's 8 ingots per coil. Well, nothing to do now but suck it up and pay the however much the game wants me to pay for these wires. Really, I think it does its main purpose of these being expensive is to drive you towards automation. Let's make 20, I guess, because once you have automated quarry making copper or something, who really cares if it costs 8 per or 1 per? The difference is negligible. Fortunately, we are not, or unfortunately, we are not at that point. All right, so let's start with 5 of these. Oh, this needs terracotta. I have seen terracotta underground, but definitely forgot to mine it. Whoopsies. Well, there goes what little clay I had left. What little clay I had left amounts to a whopping 3. So, I think we're gonna... Probably easier to go mining for clay than it is Oh, let's take a look. Have we seen a mesa? I don't remember seeing one. Nope, doesn't look like it. Alright, let's just go underground, see if I can find the terracotta again. These recipes for connectors and relays really hurt. Normally, this recipe crafts like 8 at a time or something. Instead, we get 1. Well. I didn't end up finding the terracotta underground either. I settled just for mining some clay that I found underground. I think there's still quark geodes, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, we're gonna have a couple. Oh wait, I made connectors again. A couple of each. Connectors, relays, etc. But yeah, we're gonna have to pay pretty high prices for wiring this pack, it seems. Hey, at least it gives us a few more. Alright, so next step is to actually make the kinetic dynamos. Steel plates, oof, 8 wire coils for 1? At 8, that's a stack of copper for 1. Yikes. Alright, well, how much copper ore do I have left? We might need to have to go mining some more. I mean, I can make one. Took two stacks of copper, which is just about all I had to my name, and I think almost all my steel as well, but we got 2 dynamos. Hopefully that'll be enough to get us to the point where we can at least make the metal press. Because once we get the metal press, those wires become a lot cheaper, right? They become, well, we can make this in the metal press, so it's 1 to 1 and then 1 to 2. So it's the same ratio, just with an extra step compared to the usual recipe, which is you just stamp and get into 2 wires, but that's much nicer. Then these wire coils become, what, 2 copper each instead of 8? Yeah, that's effectively quadrupling our copper. All right, so let's not go overboard with early production. Anyways, right now I need water wheels. These are standard recipes, so I need, let's see, for 2 dynamos, I need 6 water wheels. And the way I usually make them is just to craft a bunch of segments, and then afterwards I figure out if I crafted too many or too few. No, I guess that's the rest of my steel. Way too few. Right, it's 3 per. Wait, do not build this on a chunk board. Okay. Oh, I forgot to check. Did I? Hey, that's banning a chunk. Okay, we'll fix that later. Probably when we turn it into the advanced version. Watch me forget. I've built water wheels 500,000 times before, so let's just jump straight to the finished product here. 2 operational water wheels producing RF, and I didn't realize the quest gave us an extra one, so now I have an extra water wheel segment when I claim that quest. Whoops. But anyways, now that we have power, we have to do something with it. I want to get here, so that requires... Sit down. Okay, so we have to make the engineer's workbench. That should be easy enough. Of course, even something as mundane as an engineer's workbench has to use 3.5 blocks of iron. I mean, why wouldn't it? It'd be too easy otherwise. Alright, so, yes. At least it's iron. Iron we have in plentiful supply, so I'm not gonna sweat it too much. If that were copper, though, we'd be in trouble. I guess a printing press is a reasonable thing to have as part of a work press. One of these right up. I hate making these because you make fences in multiples of 3 and you consume them in multiples of 2, but you always have an extra. In fact, I'm just gonna make an extra workbench to get rid of. Well, then I need to make 2 extras. How many of the workbench molds do we end up using? 2. Alright, we'll have 2 extra fences. Because there's 2 ways. You can either swap your mold back and forth, or not your mold, but like your pattern, or you can just have multiple of these workbenches. And I don't think either approach is wrong. If they see the other way. Put it between our water wheels. There. Perfect. What the chair want? Things that let you sit on. Great. That's literally useless. All right, so we need to make the crafting components blueprint as well as the mold blueprint. Yep. The blueprint for crafting components, we can make the steel and iron mechanical components. These things don't actually have regular recipes in this pack. They can only be made in the special crafting table. Whereas normally there is an inefficient recipe to make it by hand. But given the fact that resources are sparse right now, doing it the efficient way is good anyways. I don't really use chisels and bits for anything, because why would you bother making your base look good when you can expand? Alright, so that makes 2 of those components, which lets us get into the metal press. This is definitely the machine I want first. So, metal press uses 1 heavy engineering block. Oh dear. And some other things. How much steel is that? It's only 2 steel scaffolding. Probably about like half a stack of steel total. Unfortunately, I don't quite have that yet. It's probably 10 plus minutes until I have that much, so I guess I'm just gonna go mining to pass the time again. After passing some time, my steel processing, well, it didn't finish, but more of it finished. So let's make our metal press now. Off the top of my head, I don't actually recall what blocks go where. This block is the redstone block, right? Now let's see if I can guess it right. And it's, which way do I want it to run? Probably this way. So 2 of these. A piston. I think the piston has to face down, but we can rotate it after. And then this, is that right? I'm not convinced that's right. Every time I open my bag, I get this error too. Yeah. And haha, we did it. Excellent. Now to power it, we will use our only wires we have. And I'm going to set up a relay here just so we can more easily power, more than one machine. All right, so there's a metal press. Next, we have to actually make the mold for it. So I want to make the plate mold first because plates are, once we have the plate mold, we can make plates at a 1:1 ratio instead of a 1:2. So I believe I need, I guess I should check that recipe, but I'm pretty sure it's 5 steel plates. At least that's a normal. Yeah, 5 steel plates. So these should be the last of the plates. See that all in the background? The last of the plates we make by hand. And unfortunately, I did just break my hammer, so we'll waste 6 more iron for that. But that's fine. Take this and make me a plate mold. Excellent. So the plan is to eventually have multiple metal presses. We'll probably have one for plates, one for wires. What other things are metal pressable? One for rods. It's only 1:1. Wow. Damn. Do we ever get better than 1:1? No, rods are 1:1 even with the metal press. All right, that's fine. Still twice as good as doing it by hand. And now if I want steel plates, which I do, just toss them on. So I'm going to grab a hopper to automate that. But it looks like our metal presses also just run at standard speed. Bit of a shame. I've definitely been spoiled by packs like E2E and others that speed up the metal press, but not here. So let's see what is next. Now that we have, well, what is next is probably I want to run a large batch of plates of all the various types. We'll also need the wire mold. Cool. So let's get this all started. Now to make wires, again, we're gonna have to, run the plates through a second time. But actually, I think for making wires in the long term, what I'm going to do is set up 2 metal presses back to back, one to stamp it into plates and then immediately re-stamp it into wires. But yeah, that's for later. Did this not have? Oh no, I already took the rewards. All right, fine. So next is it wants me to make the rod and gear as well. All right, fine. We'll do it just for the what is the quest reward? I care about. But I think that we'll probably need those sooner rather than later. In fact, yeah, soon that can get us into the good blast furnace. Maybe it's worth doing power storage. All right, so let's go ahead and make the last 2 molds and then get some power storage, even if it's as simple as an LV capacitor for now. With the help of the trusty metal press now, these are only 5 ingots a pop. So it was rod and gear, right? That should complete the quest. Yep, giving us, I guess, I'm not terribly interested in making the gun. I think our bow is very, very fine at the moment. So we'll just take the other one. Alright, so batteries. For that we need insulating glass. Or, no, I think that just leads into it. I'm sure we'll find a use for that soon, but just some steel plates, copper wire. Okay, so I'm making copper wires right now, and then I'll add some steel plates after. I have a feeling this LV capacitor bank or whatever, just LV capacitor, where is it? There we go. It's going to hold a disappointingly low amount of energy. Good news is we can actually upgrade it to MV and HV just fine right now. Just a handful more various plates. Let's see, electrum and steel plates. So let's do that. May as well use the better energy storage. We can use HV capacitors with LV wires, which is convenient. So let's see, is there a quest for that? Oh wait, there is, but I have to unlock it by making hot stuffing. Wait, did you? No, I can't figure out the order these are linked in. There's like supposedly lines between. If I zoom in, no, I still can't see the lines. There's like supposedly lines between them, but they're kind of touching, so the lines don't show. Figured it out. So if we make MV wires, Yeah, we'll make a bunch of those. That unlocks this quest, which unlocks the MV capacitor. Should be able to make. Unfortunately, while we can make the HV capacitor, the quest for it is gated behind insulating glass, and that's not only is it 3 steel per glass, and it's 4 glass per relay, so it's like 1, 2, 12, 13 steel for 1 relay. No, thank you. We also have to blend, like crush the steel, and I don't have a machine that can do that yet. So yeah, insulating glass, terrible deal. So we're not going to use HV. Well, we will though use the HV capacitor. Like the HV capacitor holds a whopping 4 million RF. Ooh-wee, hold me back. But better than 0, right? I also switched the output side over to MV. Couple reasons. First of all, it transfers more energy. And second of all, I think I have more electrum than copper. So, I mean, electrum is 1/2 gold, right? Which is kind of expensive, but the silver half is totally free. And I'm just like out of copper. So yeah, I guess we'll use MV for the output side, LV on the input side, just because it's only water wheels for now. Anyways, so that takes care of that. Next step, I think I want to automate our coke oven blast furnace combo. So for that, we're going to have to upgrade our blast furnace to the reinforced variant. That's very good. It's just 27 steel plates and a hopper. Do I have 27 steel plates? Steel, I have 26 steel ingots and 15 plates. All right, let's stamp a few more. And then the advanced blast furnace isn't any faster inherently, but it does allow upgrades. It also allows, item automation. All right, crude blast furnace, thanks for all your work thus far. Let's make sure when we rebuild it that we actually put it entirely in the one chunk. I did take a look and see that there is no advanced coke oven in this pack. I think it's one of the immersive engineering add-ons that adds it, and that specific add-on is not in the pack, so we can actually just move it closer. All right, 27 reinforced blast bricks and 1 hopper coming right up. So even more blast. What does that give us? Hoping these quests just give us steel. Oh, cool. I'll take that. Those are the components we need to automate this. So, if I put this here, it leaves enough room for the preheater, I believe. The preheater only needs 1 block, and it'll fit entirely, just barely in the trunk. I guess if I put the preheater here, it no longer does that. I think it'll be fine. It should be fine. And before world production. Alright, so the improved blast furnace looks smaller, but it will accept inputs via the top. There is a hopper as like the topmost block there, right? Unfortunately, it doesn't automatically suck blocks in. You have to actually put stuff into it. So that's why I'm happy it gave me a hopper and a few chests. Into it goes the coke. I have a few blocks of and a whole bunch of iron. And then steel comes out the front here. And the slag comes out the back. So a couple drawers there to hold the outputs. There we go. 1 automated coke or blast furnace. Now to get the items from the coke oven into there, I guess we can use our remaining item conduits. Can I make these yet? Oh, they use ingots? Jeez. But can we make these ingots in the alloy smelter? Or in the smeltery? And the answer is we can. Yep. Perfect. So, I guess I'll use our remaining item conduits. With this setup as is, I'm not actually sure what's faster, the coke oven or the blast furnace. But the next step, I think, is to make a couple blast furnace preheaters, which will definitely make the blast furnace faster than the coke oven. At that point, if we need more speed, I think a second coke oven will be necessary. But again, I'm not actually... Like, is the blast furnace synced up in speed with the coke oven with or without preheaters? And I don't actually remember. And it might be configured, based on the... Like, vary based on the configs. So anyways, 2 of these don't look too bad. The iron sheet metal is twice as much iron as it normally is, but still gets a whole lot of iron. I'm gonna make a small change to our smeltery here as well. Previously, I'll use the item conduits to extract from the casting table. A small problem with the item conduits is that when they're not working, they sleep for like a second at a time, which means that when the ingot actually finishes, in fact, let me put it. That conduit go. Well, anyways, yeah, you see how this lead here, it sits in there for 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Come on. Not actually there, is it? Isn't a real... No, it is a real block of lead. What? Why is my conduit so broken? Well, anyways, point is, the conduit doesn't immediately withdraw the item. No, it really shouldn't take this long to do it. I managed to break something. But anyways, I'm just going to switch this over to using hoppers, because hoppers instantly yoink the item. So that'll cause, for the casting basin here, doesn't make that big a difference, but for the chest, or for the ingot casting, it does probably make it almost 50% faster. Now, what the heck is actually broken here? I'm pretty sure that block of lead's not real. I'm going to relog. No, that block of lead is very much real. Why is my hopper incapable of working? Not this lever reaching it, right? It is completely infeasible. Yeah. Hopper? It's not even pulling the item out of the casting basin. Oh, maybe it's because I manually put the item in there, actually. Because I put it in there, it's not extracted. If I make a new one, it'll be extracted. Okay, good. Nothing to worry about then. So let's clean this up real quick and get back to what we were doing. Already forgotten what that was. Short-term memory loss. Making preheaters. Two preheaters coming right up. These also use power. I don't know the exact amount. I think it's around 20 RF per tick. So I think our 2 water wheels should have no problem powering them, but maybe I'm just horrifically wrong, or maybe configs have been changed. I don't know what that is. This gives us 10 blocks of coal. All right, well that can just be here. Cool. So let's plug these in. The wiring's probably going to get a little bit awkward, but the maximum distance that a MV wire can travel is, I think, 16 blocks. I'm gonna go from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. If I made everything chunk aligned, it would be really simple, but I didn't do it. It's all wired up, and it looks like each one is using 32. So 64 RF a tick for both of them. That's about 1 full water wheel's output, but we can stomach it, and it does make this significantly faster. All right, so that'll just run. What's next? I guess next is probably to get into crushing or biofuel. Does this do? Current transfer. How much power is flowing through the cable? Oh, okay, so this is like a readout. Yeah, I'd make it, but it's not worth, the stack of copper processing time it takes. So yeah, let's go tackle the crusher next. We probably can't run a crusher at full uptime, but there are something like for ore processing. I think I'm going to continue to use the smeltery because it doesn't use energy, whereas a crusher uses something like 1,000 RF a tick. But for making that steel grit, and which I'm sure we'll need soon enough, it is nice to have. So lots of steel. This whole episode is going to be about waiting for steel to craft. To pass the time while that steel crafts, let's make a quick trip into the Nether and see how much I regret doing this. Maybe there'll be Nether ores too. If the Nether ores are both in decent sized veins and still processed 2 to 1, it might even be worth gathering some of those up instead of mining in the overworld. So, whenever you feel like loading in... Wait a second. I am loading. Oh no, I wasn't. Not quite sure. Like, I can move the cursor, and oh, there we go. Alright. So I guess it was just taking its sweet time on terrain generation. So it's a very colorful Nether we've got here. There's literally glowstone in a huge vein. Wow, that's a lot of glowstone. Uh, right at the portal. Neat. Also, another wart right here. Convenient. I'm gonna give it a second for the terrain generation to finish, I think so. Oh, maybe it's done already. So we lag less. Alright, so let's take a look. Nether ores. Oh, it's a vein of 5. And they... Oh, they don't process 2 to 1. Let's see, what happens if we put it in the smeltery? Oh no, okay, so we can still... It only smelts into 1 ingot, but it's still, like, smelteries into 4. Yeah, it's probably worth gathering ores here. Let's mark the portal. We can find our way back, and hopefully we don't die to whatever awful things live in here. And our first little bit of cobalt, so we'll probably make better tools with this later. Now, it does seem like these glowstone veins are all over the place. Moss, what is that? Another moss. Would have thought. So we're not gonna have any glowstone collection issues back. Are these wart blocks? Can they be converted back into regular nether wart? Or do they not even drop? What they do drop? They don't look like it. But they can be turned into soul sand. Alright, that's probably not very... There's a lot of potion effects going on here, and that scares me. Nope. Don't stand on eggplant. Like a real eggplant. Tastes awful. Alright then, we'll leave that alone. See, do we see a fortress in the distance anywhere? Does it look like it? I don't even know how to get over there. It's not like I have flight. Ooh, Magma Slime Island. We can go collect do those generate with blood? They do generate with blood blocks, don't they? Here, let's go take a look. We got a hell pig just tripping out there. I don't know if it's after me. Nah, I think we chill, right? We chill? We coo? We coo. Alright. Anyways, I do need some. Well, that was a bit more than some filler blocks to get to that island. Now that we're here, we can get the slime. So the orange slime, I think, is just useful for slime crystals, but the red stuff is effectively blood. Yeah. So we don't have to melt ourselves in this smeltery anymore to gather red slime for the blood bricks. Also, there's a hellhound. It's a really good bow. I can hit things with it. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to hurt you, but you were trying to kill me. You didn't have to make such a cute whimpering sound. My pickaxe broke, so I probably can't stick around much longer, but I'm very curious what that thing is. So we're gonna go take a look at it, and then probably not figure it out and leave. It looks like something from Divine RPG. As like the... No, it's better Nether. Okay. It's just decorative? Let me in. Go in the lava. Oh, it's just another portal. Yeah. Alright then, this will probably just lead back to our portal. Pretty sure. We're pretty close to where we entered. Nope, maybe not based on the fact that it's taking forever to generate terrain. Huh, put us 600 blocks away. I thought that's about the I mean, yeah, it's like if you're within 1,000 blocks, doesn't it typically lead to the same portal? Alright, whatever. There's another way to go home. Good news is, during that mining trip, enough steel and other stuff was processed that we can now make the crusher. Bad news is we don't have the immersive engineering add-on that gives us the reviews. So we have to actually just build the thing by hand. And I have to try to like actually remember what the shape looks like going from the book to the thing. Alas. So anyways, the crusher. Gosh, I'm so bad at putting blocks in the right spot. We won't run it often because, as I mentioned, we're not going to use it as our primary ore doubler. However, it's an important next step. So, what's the second? Why am I out of... No, I'm not out of light. There, one there. One here. redstone. All right, I think we're home free now. And then hoppers on top of all of that. And then we just smack it with, not that hammer. Smack it with the hammer. Bam. All right. So, plug it in. Where does it take power? Right there. And for now, we're just gonna manually. Ow! Ow! What? Oh, I was touching the wire connector. I was like, I'm not in the crusher. The crusher also crushes you, but I'm pretty sure these hay bales we saw can be, yeah, turned back into wheat in the crusher. So I'm kind of just curious how much energy it uses. Are we horrifically negative while it's running? We are. So this was almost full earlier, and it's going down. Tough to tell how much per tick, like 1,000 per second, maybe a bit more than that. So at 1,000 per second, that's 20 ticks. It's only minus 50 per tick. I don't know, but we don't run enough power, or we don't have enough power to run this whole time. All right, so that rewards us with, oh cool, a entire windmill. I kind of want to set it up. The windmill generates more energy if you build it further up. Let's see how high does it have to go to generate full energy. If it's at like Y level 128, maybe we'll deal it. Windmill. Weather conditions affect wind speed. It gave us the sails. It doesn't actually tell us how high it has to go, huh? Apparently, it doesn't tell us how high it needs to go because it no longer matters. So if we put you here, can I put the sail on you? Spin. And then we can attach. Oh, it's a choose one reward. I see. Well, I'm not making the sails. So I guess we just get however much energy this produces. And it's probably not going to be much. I looked it up, and apparently the windmill in clear weather produces a whopping 12 RF a tick. It's like 11 and change, without any sails. If you put sails on it, this goes up to a whole 36. Wow. So I crafted 8 sails for some reason, and I think you just literally click these onto each of the 8, what do you even call these? Sails? No, I guess you just click it on the center. There we go. And it spins faster and makes more energy. Woohoo, great. So that's, I guess, our power production for now. At this point, why don't we wrap up for today, having accomplished a fair bit. We'll leave our, in fact, I'm going to get a bit more, probably as much iron as I have processed. Actually, I guess I've already basically put all my iron into here. But yeah, we're going to dump it all into here to turn into steel. So that we have a lot of steel come tomorrow. There's 61 blocks of coal here. It looks like we are going through the coke faster than we're making it, but you know, there's a whole day for it to craft. So we're gonna have, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, about like 5.5 stacks of steel to work with tomorrow. Hopefully that can get us through the day. And get into some of these heavier machines that we can start making more power and stuff like that. So anyways, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this episode and hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.